It was a long wait for the North Carolina men's basketball team, but that wait was worth it. After losing last year's NCAA championship to Villanova in heartbreaking fashion, the Tar Heels made the most of their second straight trip to the title game with a 71-65 win over Gonzaga. Hey, thanks, Joe. You know, this time next year, I will be a part of the Minot State alumni group, so I'm excited to be here for the 8th annual Alumni and Friends Luau. I'm joined with alumni director Jana McKechnie. Now, Jana, can you just tell me what's going on here? Hey guys, we just wrapped up the very first movie with the cop night here in Newtown. I'm here with some of the Newtown students, and they all have something to say to the Newtown Police Department. Guys? Go Newtown Police! The animal shelter reunites lost pets with their owners, finds home for stray and abandoned animals, but most of all, they place all of their dogs, cats, and other animals in environments of love. All right, welcome back. A sparkle of gold was spotted in the Salvation Army kettle in Kentucky yesterday. When employees of the Salvation Army were counting the money, they discovered that someone had dropped in a gold coin. It is valued at $1,100. Officials say the coin is a big help. They are considering it a Christmas blessing. You know what, guys, I can tell you, I think I could use a Christmas blessing right now. $1,100?
There you go. That's pretty valuable.
So with that Christmas blessing, this weather really isn't a blessing.
Well, unless you really wanted a white Christmas.
When life gives you lemons, you can make lemonade, but when North Dakota gives you snow, we all go sledding. Thanks, Joe. Today I tried out the Ignite Cross Training Pull-Up Assister that claims to make pull-ups easier since I can use all the help I can get. Police in Sioux Falls, South Dakota say that they have detained Erwin Dwayne Jumping Eagle for questioning about a murder yesterday. Police say he was found near Dual County. The Dual County Sheriff's Office and Highway Patrol responded to a vehicle crash on Interstate 29. The driver of the car was gone, but discovered that it was Jumping Eagle's car. The Trump administration recently passed a resolution that allows internet service providers to sell your browsing habits. The Obama administration in final days passed a requiring internet service providers to get permission from customers before sharing data. The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is suing an oilfield service company in Williston, saying a gay worker was harassed. The EEOC says it's the first such lawsuit it has brought in North Dakota. It claims Rocky Mountain Casing allowed the harassment of Michael Allen when other workers called him homophobic slurs and gave him pornographic magazines. Welcome back to the Noon Report. I'm Alex Coleman. I'm joined with Rocky from Rocky and the Rollers and Ryan Kuhn from Visit Minot. So we're going to talk about music stars and classic cars. So tell me a little bit about what this event is about. What can people expect?
5% of the world's population lives in the United States, but the U.S. alone consumes nearly 80% of the world's opioids. A father who's assisting a recovering addict shared his story on how addiction hurts a family.
She was out of it, didn't know what she was whacked out on, and I was mad. I went into her room and I threw her mattress up. I found 63 used syringes between her mattress and box spring. And my grandkids slept in that room.
But how are these opiates so easily obtainable? A simple pain reliever prescription at the ER can lead to opiate addiction.
They got it because they were in a car accident. They got it because they were injured and they were prescribed opioids, and all of a sudden whatever it was about their physiology, that was, I mean, this is the one-hit wonder. That was so good, I'm going to keep doing it. And when you track opioid addiction, right, and you track opioid prescriptions, they're parallel. The relationship is direct.
Senator Heitkamp's proposal, the Lifeboat Act, would charge a penny on every prescription per milligram of prescription opioids.
A penny. That seems like not enough. Like it might not be enough. It's over $1 billion a year. What does that tell you about how much we're prescribing?
The funds from this act will provide and expand access to substance abuse treatment across North Dakota. The goal is to treat people's addictions rather than send them to jail.
You know, we're building a jail, right? Right? You're building a bigger jail. You're doing more with corrections. Do you want to keep spending money there, or do you want to spend money to help people recover?
The bill also includes a rebate program for cancer-related pain and hospice care and exempts drug use exclusively for treatment of opioid addiction. For NBC North Dakota News, I'm Alex Coleman.
The most beautiful thing about dogs is you can't break their spirit. In this week's Community Spotlight, I feature Scooter, a playful pup who, thanks to a donated wheelchair, doesn't have to scoot around anymore.
Scooter was found on the side of the road with 6 of his siblings that have died. Still fighting for his life, the Soares Valley Animal Shelter took him in.
Scooter was brought in still alive and with paralyzed legs. He had a deformity in one, and the other looked like it had been bitten.
After amputating his paralyzed leg, the plan was to rehab the injured leg.
After a little bit of time, it was discovered that we couldn't rehab the other, so they had to amputate both.
Even with both of his hind legs missing, Scooter doesn't let it slow him down.
Scooter really, you can't tell that, or he can't tell that he has anything different with him. He thinks he's just another dog.
A wheelchair for a dog can cost $1,200, so the shelter went to the community to find a different option.
We reached out to the public to see if we could try to make some sort of a wheelchair that he could get around better on. And at that point, Home Depot came in and they decided that they'd help us out.
Building a wheelchair takes time and patience. Everything must be perfect to avoid causing future problems.
We have another volunteer that she dedicates her time to ensure that the straps fit right, that he's going to be secured in it, that it supports his bone growth, because he is still just a puppy. And it's just amazing that we have those types of people involved with what we do.
The shelter says Scooter has stolen the hearts of many, so they don't think he'll stay at the shelter for long.
He's not going to be here long after the wheelchair is set. So it's just a matter of finding the right parent for him at that point.
This act of kindness from the community will change Scooter's life forever. Scooter will be placed in a foster family until he gets used to his wheelchair.
Because this is where we come from. Our ancestors took care of this land in any way. We had respect for it. We always took care of it in any single way. We always gave back to it. But now that's changed because of like the oil and the money.
Tribal members gathered in Newtown this morning to protest a proposed pipeline that would cross underneath Lake Sakakawea. Good evening, I'm Joe Skrzyszewski.
And I'm Katie Firkins. Thanks for joining us. Alex Coleman has more from the young woman who spearheaded it and why community members say this is such an important cause to them.
15-year-old Zaisha Grinnell says after she heard about the proposed pipeline, she felt compelled to do something.
No, I feel like no one else would have spoke out because people are scared today. They're scared of like the things that that can happen, you know what I mean? But I just feel like I need to make a change. And if no one else will do it, I'll do it.
Zaisha formed a youth group called the Modern Day Warriors. The group has about 15 to 20 members so far. They joined community members in marching from the edge of town to the tribal administration building to show their disapproval of the Sakakawea pipeline, which would run from McKenzie County to Montreal and cross under Lake Sakakawea.
Biggest area is also is to let people know that people need to stand up and step up, because people are afraid really what's going on, and they're afraid that they're going to lose their money. We're not against the oil and gas. We just want to be protected and protect our future generations.
Tribal members say they are excited to see such a young person stepping up for something that can affect future generations.
The children, I'm kind of glad they're looking into the future. They're not just thinking of now, they're thinking of years to come. Because if we contaminate our water now, what's my grandchildren, what's their grandchildren going to drink if it's contaminated?
Zaisha says her goal is to have 1,000 people sign her online petition to stop the Sakakawea pipeline. So far, nearly 800 people have signed it.
I believe it's about, once again, all of us coming together and the way we perceive the world and the way we want to help and doing our part to make our world better, not just for this moment, but the ones that are not yet born, the future of our peoples.
These teenagers are learning how to make a difference in their community, one step at a time. For NBC North Dakota News, I'm Alex Coleman.